Hello everybody, thank you for coming back to the channel and watching. What I have today is how to encapsulate nail mesh. So what I'm doing here is I took out the mesh from the packaging and I'm measuring it to where I'm going to put it. I'm going to be doing an ombre with one of my acrylic color, well, with two technically of my acrylic colors from my line. So here I'm just measuring it on the nail. You want to make sure you have a little bit more than what you need, and that way you don't cut it short, because well, of course, if you cut it short, then you're gonna see it on the nail that it's not enough. So I'm using Young Nails brush on glue. It's a very, very good glue. The only thing is that once you stick on the nail or whatever you're sticking, it's gonna stay there. I only use it for the tips and stuff like this, like little encapsulations, because it'll stick and it won't come off. I don't use it for rhinestones because I have a different gel for that. I don't really like to use glue. I feel like the glue deteriorates with water and time, so I don't like when rhinestones start falling off. Even if the set is old, I don't like when they fall off. So I used a different glue. But here I'm just making sure it's stuck to the sides. You want to make sure that it'll stay on. It won't lift, because then you'll have like an air bubble and where acrylic doesn't go through. And this method, by the way, is only for fabric mesh. I know there's some sheets that are all plastic. For those, you need to have a layer of acrylic under that plastic, because then it'll start to lift. The glue will deteriorate and it will lift from the tip, and then you'll have exposure to the nail bed where water can get in and all that stuff, and that's not good. So here you're not gonna really see much of like the basic application and stuff like that. This video is more to show you, give you an idea basically how to put this on your nail. It's not really to show you how to do nails, if that makes any sense. So I'm trimming the edges here, and you want to make sure you get as close as possible to the nail tip. You don't want any extras hanging off, because that can also cause for the nail to lift from the tip, or the acrylic to lift from the tip, and you don't want that at all. So I'm just pressing it down. The glue is kind of wet still, so you have to be really careful. You don't want it all over your fingers, because it just feels weird. So I'm using Deep End from my acrylic collection, and it's like a dark blue green kind of color. It's like a really dark teal. I love the color. I love dark colors because they're just, I don't know, they're just really, really pretty to me. So those are the ones that I make mostly, because of the fact that you can't really find them anywhere else. I used to look for like rare colors like that. I couldn't find them anywhere. It's really hard, and it's a lot of trial and error, because the pictures don't really show the true color most of the time. But this one, and because this one, it looks like it's black, but when I'm doing the ombre, you can see that it's actually blue. So it's hard to get it on camera, and that's why I'm like, well, I'm not gonna spend all that money on colors that I don't want. So I just decided to make my own, and then I made too much, and then that led to me making more colors, because I'm like, I can't just sell one, I have to sell more colors. And that's how my acrylic line started. I was making my own, and then I made too much. Here I'm just adding acrylic as needed to do the ombre. I was on the phone throughout this whole video, so I know it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, but I promise you I know what I'm doing. It's just I didn't really feel like doing a whole nother video because I was leaving after this, so I'm like, well, that's good, that's fine. And then this nail kept popping off of the finger, which was really annoying. It really affected the way I was filing and all that stuff. It just popped off all of a sudden. It was fine. I put new stickers on them, but I guess some dust, or I don't know. I'm heavy-handed, I guess. And so here it's basically now it's time for encapsulation. You do the ombre first, and then you encapsulate. That's Innocence. Innocence is my clear acrylic. When you use it with the monomer, with the Glammed Out Nails monomer, it is self-leveling. So it'll minimize the bumps and, you know, the indentations that you have when your application isn't quite even, or when you still don't have a good powder to liquid ratio in practice yet. It's a really good starter powder, I guess you could say. But at the same time, I'm not a beginner, and I use it. I feel like it's perfect because it gives me time to move it around. It gives me, it's what I need. I don't need to spend time trying to perfect the little, the bead and stuff like that, because it's self-leveling, so it's minimal bumps. Now, for the filing, you want to keep your file straight. I really don't show it here because, like I said, the nail was falling off, and I couldn't, that's why I had my finger there. I filed my whole thumb. Like, the shape is it's so out of shape, and I know my nails need a refill or something. I know. And then the right hand, it was I just never got around to doing anything to it. I just did basic clear application, and that was all. See, it kept moving, so it was affecting my filing. But to get a very crisp shape, you see that pink line on the side, you want that, or if it's a different color, whatever, but you need to see that at all times. So, for example, if I turn it sideways, I'm going to see the pink line straight up, and that's what you need to see at all times in order for you to get a very crisp and straight shape. That's the key. You always have to have your file straight. If you're trying to curve it, then you just need to make curving movements with your hand, not the file. Because what's going to end up happening is you are going to file too much on one side. If you have it curved, you're going to file either upwards, downwards, and it's going to be lopsided. You don't want that. So keep your file straight at all times and use the file to move it, curve it to the side, if that makes sense. I think I have one of the videos. If not, I'm going to make another one, or make one to show you guys proper filing. But I do think I have one there. I think it's the one where I fixed the curved nail, and I hate those little practice fingers. They're so ugh. But that was the best one to show you guys on, because that's the only one that I have that actually curves with the tips. So there I was buffing and then using swipe to clean the dust on the nail. And my nail looks all yellow because I had just eaten pupusas. And the coleslaw that they give, or it's called curtido. It's yellow. It has yellow vinegar, so it got inside my nail. I washed my hands, but it stained my nail, and you have to like scrub them a couple of times a day in order for all that the stain to get out. So they're not. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just dirty, I guess, or stained, and that's the problem with clear nails. They get real dirty. And there you have it. There's the encapsulation. That video is on Instagram. Follow me, subscribe, and check out my shop. Thank you guys, and have a great day.